you all so much for hanging with us for this very last session. Keep eating your food if you want to, but this is going to be rather interactive. And I just want to make a special note about the microphone use again. This is not so GayLynn and I can hear you, which I have issues hearing you way in the back, but it's also for our virtual attendees to be able to hear because they can't hear you. So if at any point in time you want to talk or speak, just raise up your hand with greatest confidence and somebody will bring you a microphone. All right, are you guys ready to get rolling? All right.
Hey everybody, I'm GayLynn Richards. They call me Dr. Gay out in the community, so that's good enough. And thanks for hanging in there. Our last session is really about reflection and a listening session to get some feedback from you and maybe pose a few questions to hear what you have to say. But I'll gotta tell you, when Liz first came to me about getting more involved in the conference this year with the theme of bloom, I'm a gardener, so you know where I went with that. So all day long, and I gave a few suggestions which actually have been incorporated. So we're in the garden today. And we know when we garden, we may face challenges, but with tools, never met a seed catalog I didn't like. In fact, I just went crazy with seeds. But we know we may come up with something beautiful that provides grace and peace and happiness to us. Now, we also know when we go to the garden, we do need our special tools. And today, what I felt like with the sessions, and I sat in on most of them, is we received some very special gifts of the garden that can help us on our healing journey. Not without challenge or adversity. There's too much rain, there's not enough rain. Rabbits, weeds, a husband who doesn't want to do any more gardening work for me, even if I'm using this right now and should get sympathy. So open up and start to think about what session really resonated with you, something that you're going to take away and be maybe a piece that you incorporate for your blooming, because we can bloom. In fact, I think we all in a way came together today. Did you feel that? I did. I made some new friends. There's one of them coming in the room right now. There's Annette. Barbara in the back. I met another extrovert. We found each other. So does anyone want to start out? Like one of the sessions that maybe really spoke to you, said something special that resonates with you. Don't make me call on you.
I'm coming.
I think for me, I know this sounds really weird, but the whole tattoo piece, like I had absolutely
Bladed love.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm a little bit older and I never would have thought of that, but it was amazing. And just, I think how it resonates with you, especially if you're in that situation, it was amazing. So.
See, I didn't see the tattoo video. I saw the, what is it, the trailer for it, but I have the tattoos. So if you, I participated in Project Ink.
Yes.
Got Ink, yes.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, and it was an amazing experience. So watch for when they open up, follow them on social media, and they'll let you know when they open it up. And they pick quite a few people, and because it's more than one tattoo shop in Minneapolis that does it, that participates in the program.
Mm-hmm. Well, how did that make you feel like about your body? We've talked about body image today, and what did that do for you?
You know, I remember, you know, when you first get diagnosed and you first see that scar for the, the scars for the first time for like I had a double mastectomy. It's kind of like, it's like it's weird not having nipples really. And then for me, for the longest time, I thought, oh, I'll just get nipples, they'll be real. And then I realized, you know what? That serves no purpose. I want something pretty. And so mine is flowers, and mine's fine line flowers. And I think it's really cool. You know, it's like it's pretty, and it's just better than looking at the scars. So it's just like, you know, it's just like, oh, and it's always a conversation piece when somebody sees it sticking out of your workout gear or your swimming suit. And then they ask you, you know, what happened. And so, yeah. So it was a good experience. And the project team, they do a really nice job. Like, you get some great gifts, you meet some really neat people, and they actually go to your significant other, whoever you may have on your list. And I got notes and letters from my kids, my friends, you know, family members that they gave us the end of the day. I didn't know it was coming. So it was an emotional day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. And one of our others at the BCA table, Luella, has also gone through the project, and, you know, she'll show you the pink boxing gloves, you know, pretty much anybody. So if you want to know how that tattooing looks, but it did something for her too. Others, anything that resonated? Did some of you get to see the superheroes? Okay, Annette, you're on.
You said something.
What was your response to that? Come on.
Superheroes? Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool. I mean, okay, look, I have looked at my cancer diagnosis as an initiation, and it has given me the permission to explore the things I've been interested in since I was a teenager, which was shamanism. And I've always kind of been a leaning mystic. So when I was diagnosed in 2020, I didn't know I was going to be going into light body school with the four winds, but that's what I found myself doing in 2023, was learning about how to heal our energy body. And I've been learning these things about nutrition, and I actually worked with GayLynn that first year or two. She helped me recover after doing Taxol weekly for almost 7 months. So I've lived this, and I'm on the other side. I still get a shot every 3 weeks, but there is something to this journey. We can either succumb. It can be our time. And I had a discussion with somebody here about timelines, and I think it was actually at the superhero table. When it's our time, it's our time. And, you know, that's a part of life. But we can also use this to like lift us up. And that's what I'm finding. There's so much support, so much community. And I found some really cool practitioners. I've actually been networking with the Minnesota Holistic Nurses Group, and there's a medical group. And there's so many ways we can heal. And I've got a lot more to say about that, but I don't want to hold up the show here.
Let's hear from now. Again, I really saw the sessions as tools that we take on if we're using our bloom metaphor, but there's also some other things that might be of interest.
Well, I was sitting in the nutrition.
Wasn't that great?
Took it to the literal sense, everybody. I mean, it didn't take any deep exploration. She put up cruciferous vegetables, and I was like, flowers are beautiful. They're really cool. You know what also looks really cool in my garden? Purple cabbage. I mean, like that thing. I'm like, if I plant that thing, then I am healing my body and nourishing my family while also making my yard look really good. And I was like, the literal sense of gardening. And I wonder, you guys want to just like shout out, what do you want to plant in your garden this year? Just like shout it out, and I'll repeat it so the Zoom attendees can hear. Native flowers, beautiful. Okra.
Love it,
Delicious.
Barbara. I'll be at your house.
Elderberry.
Ooh.
Tomatoes? Heirloom tomatoes, very important. Oh, carrots are easy too.
And fun.
And delicious. And it's like kind of magical. You just pull it out on the ground. You didn't realize there's a whole carrot buried underneath there. Basil, yes. Lots of herbs, I hear.
Cool.
Collards.
Mmm.
They taste good. I've
Collards.
never experimented with those
do.
either. That sounds fun. I always plant a good pumpkin. That's always fun to watch it grow. Takes over my whole yard, but whatever.
You know, at our house, we were just the first thing of spring is the chives. And we were just talking about, my husband and I, like, they'll be up very soon. And that really means it's springtime. It's springtime. So
Coming. Love it. She's flagging me down.
This is slightly more of an extension, I guess, of the bloom theme, but something we didn't really bring to today, but you saw the big banner of Wonder Woman Katie out there, and I just wanted you guys to know that she is amazing. She is a cancer survivor. She was diagnosed at the age of 39 when they were taking her baseline mammogram, and they found 6 masses. And so she spent her 40th birthday on the table getting her double mastectomy, and she had to go home to a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old who were waiting for her at home. And she tried really hard to find a book to explain to her young boys what was happening to mommy. Why is mommy sick? Why is mommy losing her hair? Why is mommy throwing up? You know, right? Why is mommy hurting? Why can't mommy move? You know, all these things. And she couldn't find a book that didn't end in death as far as like explaining cancer to a child. And so she also was a gardener, and she came up with this brilliant metaphor that said, our mama is a beautiful garden and cancer is a weed that grows in mama's beautiful garden. And that doesn't mean that the garden is over. It means you had to get the weed out, right? And so sometimes you can pull the weed. And so that's how she explained her surgery, right? But sometimes there's still seeds of other weeds in the ground, and you need to use some weed killer to make sure those weeds can't grow. And that's how she explained chemo. And she said, and sometimes, and we don't like to use weed killer because that kills the rest of the plants that we like. But if you wait, then your garden grows again. And that's how she explained it to her young boys. And she actually turned that into a book that is available for other young mothers that are going through this. So if anybody wants to find out about it, I'd be happy to talk to you about it afterwards. But I just think that works out perfectly with this
the
theme of the
blooming.
conference. So we all have the chance to regrow, basically.
Thank you, Barbara.
I was just gonna say, if she didn't mention a child's book, I was like, what is she doing? The child's book is amazing. I have a 1 and a 3-year-old at home. I read, those are the only books I read these
It
days.
came up today in one of the breakouts is about the age of the kids when her husband was diagnosed and how they're growing up and their perspectives change. And I mean, I thought that was a very rich, you were in with us, very rich conversation that we need those other tools to help as our children are growing and things are changing with mom and dad. Yes.
Hang on, I'm coming for you.
She's walking faster than I am right now, let me tell you.
Also think there's such a big village that's, raising children, and whether it's school age or early childhood, more and more, a part of the family is the teacher. And I think it would be wonderful to see a modification of that theme. And my teacher is a garden, and because I am a teacher, and so children do have to sometimes experience changes in their daily caregivers.
There's actually someone who's been doing work a few years ago. She was very involved with BCA, Diane Dubois. And she got into writing books for children and took them into the school about when mom or dad have cancer, and did sessions with the kids. And that was very well received and very necessary. So thank you, because that is important work. Questions?
Oh, you're looking to me next.
Yeah, I'm really looking to you.
Sorry, I'm out of breath. I've been running around everywhere.
Yeah.
Our next question. Hang on, I'm trying to read my notes. just been sitting here. Um,
Well, one thing is,
Yeah.
again, think about the sessions. We had a chance to talk with the pros, nutrition, intimacy. I
Yes.
love that session. She
That was
just came
great.
at it in such an interesting way. I'm of the age where, yeah, there's a lot of smacky, sassy talk, but not much of the, you know what.
I like the quote that she had up there was like, menopause is puberty's evil older sister, or whatever it was.
Love it.
Like I wrote that down. I'm like, that's hilarious.
But we've attended these sessions, which were really, I think, you know, things that are supportive as we go on our journey to blooming. But we had wondered, of those of you in the room, are you able to talk to your providers about some of these topics? Are you being referred to the resources that are available to you? Is that really happening? And I'm seeing heads shaking, no. Yes.
I think what was so helpful today is I feel like I understand how to do that. And I didn't know, like I had received after being told just like a brief sentence about diet, you know, Mediterranean diet with omega-3, 6, whatever, which was, and I'm not making anything wrong that has gone on so far. I love my treatment with you and everything, but I didn't realize that like you could get the on-call, or I mean the diet support, and that could even be covered by insurance. And then I didn't know anything about like the sexual, any of that stuff either. So that was new to me. And I feel like this made it really accessible versus me dinking around on the website trying to find out what, or asking, and then feeling like kind of like, I don't want to feel like it's like a whole new world I'm entering. And so like navigating it. And I feel like this made me feel a lot more comfortable. So I guess that your question was like, did anyone ask you? And no, but I feel like I know what to do now.
Okay. Okay. So, again, yes. She walks faster than I am right now. I'm sorry about that.
Still on my thoughts with mine because of that menopause thing. So I wasn't aware. My doctor never asked about the sexual piece, but it was impacting my marriage, and it actually still is to this day. I'm 8 years out now, but I did finally go see a sexual health provider through Health Partners, and I got the estrogen. Yeah, through Health Partners, Park Nicola. Yeah, she's amazing. Most thorough exam I think I've ever had in my whole life was there. Like she like shows you everything, gives you education, makes things. Got the estrogen cream. Yep, and I did the PT, the pelvic floor PT, which hello, all of us should have after having babies, just in general. And it doesn't take long, but the PT helps you realize how to do it because you may be doing Kegels, but you may be doing them all wrong. So I just highly recommend it. It was a great. They're hard to get into. I will say that those providers, but call them, get on their schedule. It's well worth your time.
Okay. So we've heard from a few folks that maybe weren't asked, didn't really have, and now we have maybe a better understanding about how we can access those resources. But I'm hearing an idea. Ashley, tap me later because I want to get that down while I'm still thinking about it.
Okay.
A lot of folks. I take a lot of resources out to communities at our community events because people have no idea what's available. And
You don't know what you don't know.
correct. And often
Tell you some here.
And often you don't have a need to know until you have a need to know. And then you say, why didn't I know? So now we know.
And we can utilize those in our own life and share.
Yes.
Share.
Yes. And the navigation of finding information, I think we need to improve that. That's just personal. I have a close personal relationship with Mr. Google, but that's through years.
But also
of-
don't Google.
Well, not generally. I
fine
know
line
I
there.
know where to go and because what I'm looking for. So maybe that's part of it, is talking with someone who can help you to navigate, to find those resources in none of those weird sites, please. You know what I mean? The one diet that didn't come up in the nutritional session was, I remember the old grapefruit diet or the cabbage soup diet. So what, and if you combine those, do you just have cabbage soup and grapefruit and that? Huh?
Delicious.
Ugh. Anyway. What else on that? Could we, anybody else want to chime in? Did your provider talk to you? Did they refer you?
You've never had a conversation.
Like 5 years now.
Okay, okay.
I'm seeing a lot of no's.
So I think might be some work ahead of us.
Always.
Always.
What keeps us up here.
Yeah. I caught the tail end of I love the Survival to Strength group. And I came in at the tail end, though I have my own special exercises with my friend here right now. But that seemed kind of fun. Did you guys get energized about that? Was that fun? You know, we took in a lot. I mean, there's a lot of content today. So to break it up and maybe next year it's polka. I'm not sure. Not sure about that. Conga line.
Yes.
Salsa. Now that actually is a reasonable suggestion instead of craziness. What else today? We are open to your feedback and conversation. And
I will say, coming in right now as an evaluator, I have seen the surveys at the end of all this stuff, and you can tell when engagement starts to kind of peter out because people are getting tired, inundated with too much information. From being here in the audience, it's remained constant.
Very much so.
You guys have been engaged the entire time, and that is a wealth of knowledge you're taking home with you today. You're probably exhausted, but it probably is going to feel so good the next day and today and in the future. That's my evaluator hat. It's coming up. So
yeah, I agree. I think there's been a lot of engagement today, and that's what I like to see in the breast organization that both of us are involved in.
you mentioned that?
Yes, we'll mention it.
Okay. We are here representing the Breast Cancer Education Association, which is a nonprofit organization, volunteer driven and run. If you're interested, please join us. And we do a lot of education around breast cancer, prevention, early detection, screening, which is the same thing, treatment and survivor support.
And we have an annual conference too. I'm on the education committee, and we really lean towards survivorship. And what I really like is a lot, I will call on people if they don't speak up, but usually I'm facilitating something or another. And we get people really engaged. And I think is feed off each other a good way to describe it? We getting more engaged by things, what other folks say, and it reminds us of something that we had been thinking about. And that's what I saw happening today. And that's why, of course, our timeline ran a little bit late at this conference. So any other thoughts, ideas, comments? And Liz can't be here. Liz was unable to be with us today, and she and her team did a remarkable job putting this conference together. So even though she's not with us today, I think we need to give her a woohoo.
She's probably on virtually right now, so.
Woohoo! And who gave that date for next year?
February 28th, back again at it with the Bloom Survivorship Program.
And if you like more, April 12th is the Cancer Survivor Conference that will be at McNamara. I have seen the agenda and it also looks just fantastic. Another great way to
be with community.
Yep.
Learn new resources.
Partners, resources.
Great food.
Yeah, great food. Yeah, great food. Yes.
And that one you can bring your spouses to. Yep. Yeah.
April 12th at McNamara. I about 8 to 1, but something
Similar,
like
yeah.
that. I don't. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So full disclosure, I am not a survivor myself. I've just sort of fallen into becoming an ally just because so many women I cared about were experiencing this. And to me, what struck me, I didn't get to go to every session, but I was in for some of the first ones in the morning with Dr. Lang and Dr. Help Me Church. Yep. And just, a somewhat, and even meeting some of the people that I've met today, like, hate to say it, but like the club you never want to belong to, but like how kind of universal this experience honestly is, how widespread, how common, and yet at the same time, how that's the unfortunate side of it. But then, seeing researchers like Dr. Lang and providers like Dr. Church able to like report on these incredible advances, it just feels like, I've actually known Dr. Lang for over 15 years, and like, seen her as a breast cancer researcher in that space for a long time. And now she's going through, it's like, well, good timing, because, now we know so much more, right? Sad that it's happening, but it's like it's both sides. Like we are all honestly in this together, and just feeling so thankful for all of the people that have been working so hard, so continuously for so long to help people to make this be something that they can live through and you not necessarily die from, but just have had happen in their lives. So that's just what I kind of am struck by.
Thank you, Barbara, very much so. And I appreciate you as an ally.
We just have like a minute or two.
Well, we've got an open floor or,
Is anybody
know,
wanting to?
karaoke.
I'm so glad you have a lot of questions. I appreciate that.
I mean, it happens. I'm just wondering, there's a lot of research on breast cancer and there's emerging research and all those things. And, is there somewhere or something someone will be doing about what is going to happen with the ramifications of all the funding being cut off, and just where people can go to get that information? Because a lot of people have had to stop their clinical trials.
I know.
So I it'd be nice if there was a trustworthy place actually to get that information. And then just another thing on survivorship is just having a roadmap for after you get fired from your oncologist. You've kind of done your 5 years or 10 years. What's the next steps?
Boy, you said I am an oncology nurse by background, worked in the cancer space for more than my 50-year career. So this is what I do. This is what I'm supposed to do. But you're right. I talk with so many women that like at that 5 years, then what? Who am I now? And how do I continue on this journey? We may have to talk. Yeah, we may have to talk. And your previous question, there's been quite a bit out, but I think right now I'm really looking at some of the information being put out by the American Cancer Society around the cuts in funding for all disease research. It's not just cancer, it's all, it's NIH in a big way. And there's going to be other things that come, but I have found what they are writing is, we know what we know right now, and it may change. So that's maybe the place to start. Absolutely.
Contacting representatives. Yeah. That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. NPR just had an article out about what funding cuts would mean here at the Masonic Cancer Center. That's a really great resource to show just how
That's a
much
good
that
one.
could
Thank you,
impact
Ashley.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at sources that have previously not been federally funded is going to be the next best thing, because we're questioning information now coming out from NIH, from CDC. These are the sources that we used to go to, and now we're like, let's think twice now about this, which is good. You should always think twice about information that's coming at you and where it's coming from. And that's what we're having to do nowadays. It's hard. It's really, really hard, but it's so, so important that we continue.
This came up just a couple days ago in a meeting. Someone who is getting a clinical trial here off the ground. And because the information is changing and evolving and not crystal clear, and again, where your information comes, there's all that. But what seemed to be one direction is it's going to be turning to more of the private funders to supplement what it will still come through. That the work is not going to stop. It can't stop. It must not stop. I won't let it stop. You know, I've been so lucky. I've got a chance to save lives. And I'm going to keep on doing it until I can't anymore.
Nice, yeah. You have one. Hey. Oh,
Let
Oh,
Ashley
eh,
get to you.
oh.
Earlier, I thought I heard them say, they were talking about hormone inhibiting medication. And I thought I heard someone say 5 or maybe 10. Today is the first time I've heard the number 10. And as someone who's,
15.
Maybe.
so I'm like, 3 weeks from the appointment, am I going to hear a number that's not 5? Like, will my oncologist say, yeah, no, you should be taking that for 10 more years? Or
Wait for the appointment, be ready with your questions. And then ask for rationale. And there have been many, many studies. So I'll assure you of that there may be efficacy and a benefit to you, but be prepared with your questions and ask them. And then really the final decision will be between you and your oncologist. And you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Recognizing the time right now. Here's
Oh,
what
we're
I'm gonna-
4 minutes late.
Yeah, yeah. That's totally normal. But just to wrap things up here, just a few notes. As an evaluator, there's going to be a survey that goes out to you at the end. So please make sure you fill that out. In the folders, you have parking vouchers for today. If you parked at the Victory or Maroon lot, those should work. Anything else, Lissa? Nope. Cool. GayLynn, do you have any words to send us home with?
Go out and bloom.
Perfect.